Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick doing an unboxing on Litesol 200 lumen headband slash headlamp. So if you are a hiker or you're going to go on a night hike with somebody special, I think it's important to have more than just your iPhone. Those of you who are taking up hiking, especially if you're going to Mount Whitney where we're going to camp out, it's important to have a decent headlamp or light source so you could see what you're doing, especially when nightfall comes. So I just saw this at Menards and I thought, oh yeah, I like the dummy here, and the wide band looks pretty cool, but there's some drawbacks to wide band. Oh, look at this. So I don't know what this is, but I have no idea what, or that's what's turned on. It's connected here to... So unfortunately I haven't charged it up. That's how it looks. They had the headlamp part here and the battery part here. Well, maybe there is some power here. Nope, no power. Essentially just put it on like this and it lights up broadly, or wide band. Wide band is good if you're on a campsite, because if you're on a campsite, you want to see everything close by. It just diffuses the light everywhere around you. Things like this little thing, I used to use this headband type pen lamp. I mean, it's okay. It's a waste of time. This is a plastic something or other, and it takes like 3 AAAs. It dies fast, and the lumen on this thing is terrible. This is nice if you're wanting to put something in your pack. Has an accessory light. I would not use this as a primary light because it's very cheaply made. Probably will not make contact in inclement weather, whether it's rain or sub-zero. This is getting a little bit better. This is powerful. So, and it has several different lenses to focus. So it has a broad one for your campsite, and then it separates it to focused. So this is not the greatest as far as focus. Focus, you want a beam that goes and lights up, say, a path in front of you. And this really diffuses fast. This is more for just utility, like if you're in a car. But the battery on this thing is rechargeable and it's strong. It'll last a while. I'm sorry, I'll probably have to do a video after I charge this up just to compare the lumen, or the area that it lights up. This is getting a little better. This is also rechargeable. So it's got a battery in here. Technically, you can't check this into your luggage because it is a rechargeable battery, and it's kind of heavy. So as we carry stuff, you really want to decrease the weight down to the grams, especially if you're going a couple days. So the focus is pretty decent. You can light up the path, maybe distant to path. So let's talk about lumens. Most of the headlamps are rated as lumens. This is my big gargantuan. This is like 1,000 lumens. This is about 50 to 60. We got that. And then we got that. So this goes, oh, that's also a strobe. Strobe is more for protection, or the iris of the eye. You don't have to worry about that. Bottom line is that both of these are strong. This one is stronger. But this battery is huge, and this one is probably not as reliable. So we have the handheld, which is nice if you want to hold, but if you're working your campsite or if you're using sticks, you want something that you don't have to hold. And here's where fancy comes in. This is one of my lights that takes, I believe this is also 3 AAAs. It's pretty decent. It gives you red if you don't want to, if you're just looking in your campsite and there's somebody else sleeping. Red doesn't blind everybody. You can still see a little bit, but it's darker. And then you have the regular light. I think this is about 70 to 100 lumen, but it's broad and it doesn't have a focus. This is focused. This is my big boy. It's rechargeable, but lasts long. This is about 800 lumen. But the problem with this, I will tell you, is that it's heavy. So it's heavy, it's big to pack. But this, I can change the focus to brighter and brightest. That's 2 lights, 2 LEDs. And that's the thing with lumen, is that lumen is a measurement of, I guess you can attribute it when you have a bulb, you measure bulbs in your house with wattage. When you have LEDs, it's a little bit different. You measure with lumen. So I love this thing, and I can't even see now. Let me just try to turn it off. My collection, and it goes from handhelds, cheapies, to handheld expensive, to headlamps. And to be useful and have 2 for 1, I would have a headlamp, because you can always hold a headlamp. can always hold this like this. It gets a little cumbersome, or you can wrap it around your wrist if you wanted to, and just while you're hiking, do that, light up the path in front of you. The cool thing about the lumen measurement is that, as I mentioned, this is about 1,000. This will light your path and then where your path goes, way in the distance. But it does blind. I think I used this to read in bed once, and I couldn't see for about 5 minutes. If you're just using your headlamp or your light for in your tent or reading at night, 10 to 20 lumen is fair. If you're using your light for, say, your campsite, I think that 100 to 200 lumen is better, and especially if it's a broad light or a broad band. If you're trying to light up where you're going because you misjudged and calculated and you're heading back to base camp and it's dark out, you want something that's a focused beam, not a broad beam. This is a broad beam. This is a focused beam. Broad beam lights everything and diffuses and dies before the light gets far away. Focus beam shoots straight because it concentrates everything using the mirror and the lens inside. So that's it in a nutshell. You also want a long-lived battery. You want waterproof or durability, especially if you drop it. Some of these electronics, you drop it and it doesn't go. And then what happens for the rest of the hike? So you have to borrow somebody else's. So we're going to be doing a night hike on January 14th, this Saturday. I'm going to tell everybody, just bring your headlamps or your lighting material. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm shooting this with an iPhone. iPhone lights, that's not really what you're supposed to use. Number one, you'll burn out your battery fast. Number two, you can't really see the path. So if you adjust and we head out at, say, 4:45 or 5:45, the light is starting to drop and your eyes will start to dilate to see more of the field. When there's no more light, especially in the state park in Bartlett or wherever you are, when there's no more light, especially if you start without a lamp, your eyes will be able to accommodate and you'll be able to see, believe it or not, especially on a full moon. For those of you who have cataracts or slightly vision impaired, it would be fair. We can put you somewhere in the line of that we're going to be walking. We're going to be marching. The path is very flat. There's no obstructions, there's no roots. It's pretty easy, but it's just cool to be in a state park at night. And it'll be a fast hike, but if you've never done a night hike, it's great. I'll put some pictures to a night hike I did in Arizona once. It's kind of different, it's cool. It's a nice adventure, especially when you hear animals. And not big animals. There's nothing in Illinois that'll kill you. So I think we're going to be okay. It's just something fun to have. And hopefully this gives you a little bit of a tutorial about what to look for. Low lumen if you're just using it for reading, a little higher if you want to use it for the campsite or in your tent. Red options, if you click it and it switches over to red, would be nice if you are sleeping in a tent with somebody else. And then broad beam would be good for campsite stuff. Focused beam would be good for just when you're hiking, whether it's the path or where the path goes. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. If you have any favorites that you guys like, please put them in the comment section down below. If you have not signed up for the hike, well, to do the hike, you have to go to the conference, and I'll put the tickets down below. You can't just show up at the end of the conference and start hiking because we might take off early. So thanks for watching to this point in time. Stay safe when you do hike. I'll talk about protection next time, and yes, you should have protection as far as communications and maybe a little tear gas. The best thing you can do is tell somebody where you're going, and that way somebody's watching out for you just in case. So be smart, be safe, and get outside. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again.